Thank you, Rob. Tablet computers will once again be a hot selling item for Christmas. The makers know this, and they debuted several new models this year. Fox19 tech expert Dave Hatter is here with how to choose what's best for you. Good to see you, Dave.
Shelia, how are you?
I'm great. So first you have a warning about online reviews.
Yeah, fake reviews, also known as sock puppeting. You know, everything's got a name in the world of tech, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, anytime you go to a site and there are reviews, you have to understand that anyone can post a review. And there have been well-known cases, an author, Ellery, who started posting reviews about his own material and eventually was found out. So, you know, you got to take the things with a grain of salt. And one good piece of advice really is to keep in mind that since anyone can do this, you know, you need to look at the aggregate. If there's one or two flyers on either end, hey, this is really great or this is really bad, you know, can you trust it? Hard to say. But if you see a pattern, or if there's 100 and they're all bad or they're all generally good, then it's probably trustworthy.
So there are a lot more tablets now than there were when the iPad came out. Everybody has gotten in on their own version. iPad's still kind of the classic, though, right?
Yeah, iPad's still the sales leader, although in some of the articles I sent you, you can see that Android sales are way up. They're up to about 41% of the market. So Google is really coming on strong in both the phone market. They now lead in sales of phones. And they're starting to come on strong in tablets. And as you mentioned before, Microsoft now has an entry in there. So
it's Windows 8 tablet,
Windows 8 RT. It's a scaled-down version of Windows. It's not fully compatible with other versions of Windows, but it does have Office. And that's one of the things that makes it interesting is because if you get a Microsoft tablet, you're already familiar with Office, it's probably more work-ready and, you know, more familiar for folks than some of the other tablets might be because they're used to working with it at work.
Yeah, some of them are better for reading books, like a Kindle Fire or a Nook or something like that, right?
Sure, that's one of the decisions. You know, the Kindle is actually also based on Android, Google's tablet platform. And you really have to kind of decide for yourself, do you want a larger tablet? If you're going to do more work-related tasks, maybe watch TV, that kind of thing, it might be better. If you're looking for something smaller and more portable, the mini tablets, Apple has a new entry in that space. There's lots of choices. The big thing I encourage people to think about is, you know, how much money do you want to spend on something that for most people probably is going to be a toy? I don't know too many people who've been able to completely replace a regular computer from a work perspective. You know, for reading email and browsing the web and that kind of thing, they're pretty handy.
The minimum you're going to spend is what, 150?
Yeah, probably 150 on up from there. You know, and you really have to think about how much memory does it have. I would encourage anyone before they buy one to go out and play with the different ones. Check out the Microsoft one. It's pretty, again, if you're familiar with Windows and you know how to use Office, it's pretty cool. But, you know, one of the big things people find is even if you have a smartphone from the same vendor, particularly in the Android space, they won't be exactly the same. So you may think, well, I'm going to know how to use this, and the interface on it is.
What about some of the ones you see at like the discount stores, like Big Lots or Ollie's, places like that? Should you trust those tablets?
Well, you know, it depends on what you want to do with it. Again, if you're just looking for a toy, I know someone that bought one there for like $60.
Right.
And he mostly just kind of plays with it, and it's a great way to have something that's a little bigger and more flexible than a phone, but smaller and more, you know, quicker, more portable than a computer to just do things like surf the web and get email. So they're great for that kind of thing, but in terms of something that you're going to use as a real productivity boosting device, probably not going to work out.
Go for the higher end. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Happy shopping, Dave. Thanks very much. Have a nice Thanksgiving.